Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Drive Forward, and today I have come up with another interesting video. It is about communication. What is communication and what are the types of communication? So communication is a two-way process, right? It means that what you are doing in communication, you are exchanging your ideas, thoughts and feelings to others. But you have to keep in mind whatever you are conveying, whatever you are saying, that should be understood by the other person with whom you are having conversation. So that's why it's known as communication is a two-way process. Suppose you have gone to a very beautiful place with your friend, and there you are saying that wow, what a eye-catching view this place has. This is really majestic. The place is really majestic. So your friend is saying that indeed, okay. But if she will not reply, she will not answer, then the communication is futile. Then the communication is incomplete. So if you want your communication to have some fruitful result, if you want your communication to flow in the right direction, then you have to participate. Participation is very important. And how will you participate? By listening, right? So you have to listen and accordingly you have to speak. So that's why communication is known as two-way process. Now, communication is further categorized into four types. So let's see all the four types of communication. The number one is verbal communication. Verbal communication means when we are speaking, right, verbally. So from verbally is the word verbal communication. So here how you have to communicate, you have to be loud, clear, confident while speaking, right? And avoid the use. So your second one is avoid the use of jargon in your communication. So what is jargon? Jargon are the technical words which are used in communication, scientific words. For example, you are suffering from maybe fever or maybe flu, and you are consulting a doctor. So the doctor has prescribed the medicine, and when you ask what has happened to you, so he just describes everything in a very scientific, scientific term, very technical words. So will it be easier for you to understand? Will you be satisfied? No, you will not be satisfied, right? Then you will just switch to another doctor. You will consult another doctor. So that's why it's very important for the people to understand. Unless they will not understand, the communication will not flow in the right direction. Right? So you have to avoid jargons in your. Another very important part of verbal communication is active listening. Listening is very important. So whenever you are entering in the conversation, you have to put aside your thoughts. Okay, first allow the person to complete, and then you can just answer, you can just raise questions, you can just raise your query. But you have to listen. Unless you will not listen properly, how will you ask question or how will you understand what the topic was about? And the most important thing is that how you will gain knowledge, right? If you have gone to attend any seminar, so it's very important for you to listen. So listening is very important, but what happens most of the time, people neglect this listening because they feel that it's not that important, but it's very important. Okay, so all these are points for verbal communication. Now number two. Number two is non-verbal communication. And non-verbal communication is equally very important. So what is non-verbal communication? The communication where you are not using, you are not speaking, but you are using your hand gestures, facial expressions, and trying to say your feelings. So that's non-verbal communication. Now, let's understand what are non-verbal communication. Okay, so communication where you are showing expressions, your feelings more than that of words. Okay, for example, when you are liking certain thing, you are sitting on the dining table and your mom is asking how was the food. Then you are saying like this or you are saying like this. So what does this mean? This means that it is very tasty, right? And it happens some of the time, like we are sitting at the corner of our room, and then our loved ones ask, "What happened to you? Why are you so sad?" So how they were able to judge? They were able to judge because of facial expression. Okay, or let's say another example: you are sitting at the corner of your room, and suddenly your mom comes and asks, "What happened to you? Why are you so sad? Why are you so upset?" Then you will tell accordingly why are you so upset. So how she came to knew that you are upset through your facial expression, right? Your facial expression tells everything about your feelings, what is inside your heart. So face is basically a mirror, right? So that's why this facial expression is very important. For example, there is a lecture going on and you are not taking interest, it seems boring. So through your face one can make out that he is not liking, he is getting bored or she is getting bored, right? Similarly, if the debate is going on in your school and there are so many participants, they have participated in the debate, and there is a one participant, what he is doing, he is just standing and he is scratching his head, he is looking towards his watch. So what does this mean? This means that he just wants to run away, right? He is not confident, right? He is just looking at the watch, he just want to finish and run away, right? So that's why all these things comes in non-verbal communication, how you are moving your hands, how you are engaging the audience. Okay, so this is non-verbal communication. So let's move to the third type of communication. Third type of communication is visual communication, right? And what do you mean by visual communication? Visual means जो चीजें दिखती हैं, right? So before this type of communication, you should know your audience. How is your audience? Suppose you go to a very remote area, there most of the people don't know about internet, computers, or maybe latest technology. So what you have to do? You have to take some some hard copy, some chart paper, and you have to take projector, laptop, everything, and you have to show those things through projector. Then it will be easier for them to understand. Otherwise they will just wonder what you are talking about. So before visual communication, you should know your audience. That is one of the most important part of visual communication. Now, what happens in case of visual communication? You are showing everything, you are explaining everything, then it is becoming really easy for the people to understand. And after showing everything, it's your responsibility to ask, right? To ask whether they understood or not. Okay, is there any point? Is there any point on which there is more to be explained? So all these things you have to talk about in visual type of communication. And the last one, written communication. Written communication may be in the form of email, maybe in the form of text, maybe in the form of messages. In case of a written communication, what you have to do, you have to check the tone, in which tone you are writing, and further it is categorized into formal and informal. So accordingly you have to see how you are using the words. And in case of written communication, you have to cross check, because that is a proof, that is a record that you have written it. So you have to cross check, you have to just be calm and then write, calm and composed and then write, and don't ever write when you are angry. Because what happens when we are angry, we just write everything and later we just repent that why we have written this. So this is written communication. So all these are the four type of communication, and it plays a very significant role in case of communication. So I hope you like this video, and if you feel that this is helping you, this is giving you some knowledge, then you can like and subscribe my channel. Till then, take care. Bye bye.